eat my entire ass, fucko. Hey, so here's what we're gonna do today. I'm really friggin' hungry and I don't get paid for a couple days yet, and you might be saying, well, Zach, you've got a job, surely you had money saved. I did, until I went and bought a bunch of really fancy stuff this week. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make my classic extra special college specialty, and it's gonna be pretty good. I haven't made it for a little while, but I think it works pretty well. And the best part about this is I didn't make it until, I was gonna say after I was done with college, but I'm not done with college, so it works. So there's not too many steps, but let's start with step one. I'm looking at some bread that I think I forgot about on top of my fridge, and I think it's gone bad. What do you think? Is that it? I think I'm gonna throw that out right now. So, since we've got a college specialty, it's imperative that we do step one. Okay, step one is going to be making sure that we've got everything prepped. Now, what we're going to prep today is going to be straight vodka. You're going to be saying, well, Zach, is this going to truly enhance the flavor? And I can guarantee you that it does. 100%. Today we're using Grey Duck from the fine state of Minnesota. And yes, it will enhance the flavor. Step one, prepped. Let's hit it. Alright, so now we've got step one prepped. Let's perform step one. Goes down smooth. Now, step one out of the way. little, what do they call it? Methanol. That's what they put in the hand sanitizers you don't want to have anymore. That vodka is really good, but it's not the best for shooting anymore, I've decided. So, step two, we are going to put the ingredients in the area of the stove. Here's something else that's important. You're probably wondering what exactly this meal is. Well, it's going to be a fancy mixture of prepared seasoned chicken with some East Asian noodles. Now, what we're using today is going to be still frozen chicken breast with some ramen noodles with chicken flavoring. But that's not all. There's a little secret seasoning and ingredients going on too. So right now, I'm gonna get the chicken ready because it's still a little bit cold. So let's go to that part. All right, let's make sure those dishes are washed up real good. Sometimes you gotta get in there. Just gotta. All right, we're okay. Yep, gotta get the back too. So we want to make sure we're using a burner that's clean. And when I say clean, we're using that one. Why? Well, because any other one of these fuckers smokes like hell when I turn them on. So we don't want that. Now, I mentioned earlier, probably about 5-6 seconds ago, we want some chicken. Now, this has been thawing for about a good 5 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna need to do some work on this. Break it up a little bit. Make sure it's all good to go. I'm going to be using 2 chicken tenderloins today. They're probably different. You know, the part of the tenderloin, or part of the chicken that's the tenderloin, right? It's right next to the other part. So we're going to be using that. Now, we've got the clean pan. We want to use this. I want to fill it up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to fill it up with some water. And I'm going to set this to about 6-ish. Is that what I want? Been a little while since I've done this. It's cool though. It's cool. We're gonna do it to about 6-ish. So medium heat, medium high heat. And here's the important thing. What you want to do, have I washed my hands? Well, they're wet. My phone's going off. I'll let the machine get it. So, we want to have a little bit of water. I'm going to put this, like I said, to 6 out of 10. Goes up to high, which I am assuming is 10. And, this is new chicken, too. This looks disgusting. It looks like old zergling part. You see that on it? That's gross. God, I opened this, like, once. This is going to be high quality college level chicken. So I'm going to put 2 pieces in. Now, like I was saying, it's important that you put it in before the water boils. Just like when you're boiling, I don't know what this is. What is this, a tendon? Skin? I don't know. This is a good sized piece though. So we're going to put it in there. You want to put it in there before the water starts boiling. Just like when you're boiling eggs. You don't want to put the eggs in right when the water's boiling. They'll all explode or crack and pop like fucking egg-flavored Rice Krispies, right? So what you want is you want to put it in like that. Now I'm going to wash my hands. All right, now I got my hands nice and washed. People from the old country, they say it washed. Let's put this back in there again. So, not only is that going to sit there, and that looks fucking grotesque. Ugh. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine, guys. So then what we're gonna do, so we got that getting ready to heat up. Gonna put a topper on it. I'm gonna let that sit for about, I don't know. Say 10 minutes. If I remember how to work my microwave. Timer first. Alright. So we're going to let this sit for, like I said, about 10 minutes. It's going to kind of heat up the chicken. Get it nice and thawed out. This is the professional way to do this in case anybody's wondering. It's going to be great. And then, check back in on it after that's done. So, it's been sitting there for, well, just about 10 minutes now. We're going to go ahead. Take that out. Oh, they're looking good. Oh, it's actually steaming up my... Get it away. Steaming up my camera lens a little bit, which makes sense. Go ahead and give that a quick turn. Yeah. Now let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and split it like this too. Help get it all nice and good. So when I put it into the pasta, that's what I'm gonna call it. Well, no, it's not pasta. The noodles. We're going to have it about this size chicken. Can you taste the dryness yet? Nah, just kidding. It's not really going to be dry. I mean, it might be a little bit dry, but I'm going to cut these up into these size pieces. Keep the downside of this is you're going to have some fat on there that we didn't trim because it wasn't. Oops. I'm going to try and cut that, but I don't think it's going to work too well. The downside is we're going to have a little bit of fat, like I said, because it wasn't thawed at all, really, to trim, but that's okay. So we're going to do that, let it cook for just another couple minutes, and move on to the next step. So literally 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes are up, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to take this, drain the water. Take care of all this. I think we got most of it. Good. So the chicken is now, I would say, pretty well thawed. Chicken is thawed. Looking a little bit kind of chewy, but trust me, it's going to be all right. The next part is where you really have to decide what kind of a cook you are. And by this, what I mean is, do you want to go with healthy, or do you want to go with straight fat, which I think is what we're going to do, because I don't have any more oil left. So I'm going to take some butter. We're gonna mix that in there with it. I'll attempt to mix it in there with it a little bit here. Just want to make sure we got something to cook with so that they're not getting super stuck to the pan. This is important because not only do we not want them to get super dry by being stuck to the pan and crunchy. Actually a little crunch is okay. Okay, whoop, hitting the camera. A little bit of crunch is going to be okay. But the problem is you don't want it to be dry. So the butter is going to kind of, well, it's going to give it a buttery flavor for one thing. But the next step is we're going to add, I got to add a secret ingredient. What is that secret ingredient? La, 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 la. You see the shadow? Seasoned salt. Lawry's seasoned salt. The problem with adding seasoned salt, or salt in general, especially to something like this, is it's going to dry it out. Not only it's going to try and dry it out, it's going to suck up all the butter and all that. And if you leave it too long, it's going to start burning shit because it's going to get really stuck because the salt's going to absorb all the butter, like I was saying. So you got to be careful. You got to add the salt a little bit later. But we have another step we can do in the meantime. Let's go ahead, let's do that step right now. This next step is going to be, well, we're going to be adding the water for the ramen. It's just water. This is probably going to smoke because that's what they all fucking do. We're gonna, oh, you see this? Look at this shit. I wasn't just kidding. I don't know if that's smoke or if that's just, nope. Alright, well, so, I'm gonna put this over here for just a second again so I don't get the other burner gross. Gonna go ahead, mix these around. They're starting to get a little bit brown. Just want to make sure those are thrown on there. So the butter's gonna help brown it, I think, is the reason, probably. I don't know, it happens this way whenever I do it. So I assume it's probably the butter. Now you can, if you're gonna be fancy and shit, yeah, you can use oil right off the bat because ideally your chicken's gonna be thawed. This chicken is not thawed. Well, it's thawed now. Let's give this another shot on this burner. Now this one I've cleaned, and I have cleaned the pot. So the pot, we should have clean pot. A clean pot. So at this point, we're gonna wanna start adding that seasoned salt. As I'm adding the seasoned salt, I am noticing that there is more smoke and shit coming off of the water. So we're going to be real quick in case this starts setting off my alarms again. Not that it's done it today, but in the past, this process may have set off my alarms. A little bit tougher to do one-handed, isn't it? That's what she said. You gotta make sure you get this at the right time because that salt is going to suck up all that butter. So what you could do is you could add a little extra butter if you want. I don't want to add too much salt. Now the salt isn't going to necessarily stick as well as if you had seasoned it beforehand, but it'll stick. Let's make sure we get that midway food other step taken care of. Shot number 2. I didn't drink that right. When you're drinking alcohol, drink it right. Don't do that. Important to note is I have thrown the top back on the chicken. We're going to go ahead and set that for another timer of about, well, no, let's say 1 minute. And the chicken ought to be done. Now, dryness really is the enemy here when you're pulling what I like to call the expedient thawing process. So I want to make sure that it's not getting too dry. This is going to make sure it should be cooked and it won't get into the jerky phase. Now once this shit starts boiling, we're going to throw those noodles in. And that's going to be just about the last step. Well, not the last step, but we'll be pretty much seeing homeward. Oh god, it's smoking again. Never mind, it's coming out of the water. That awful ear-piercing sound is, of course, our chicken ready to go. Pull that off. Is there not? Oh, thought there wasn't a flavor packet. You gotta have the flavor packet. Now, the window of cooking on the back of this is gonna say 3 minutes. I like to say 3:30 because I'm a fucking chef. I don't know. When you're drinking, always hydrate. Because we're responsible here. Ordinarily, I like to have some nice music going on when I'm doing some cooking. Maybe some Mazzy Star, some Smashing Pumpkins, just something to really get you relaxed. You know, the more relaxed you are when you're in the kitchen, the better you are. Because the more relaxed you are when you're doing anything, you're gonna do a better job, right? So I'm not gonna do that because, well, I guess I'm not monetizing this video. I fucking could. Okay, hang on. We're good to go. So I like to have this song on, maybe something else by Mazzy, just something that really gets me in the mood for cooking. I've let that chicken sit. That is really fucking loud. Now then, I've let that chicken sit again in the pan. The reason why is because when I do the seasoning on that, on the noodles, I want to do it in a bowl by itself. I don't want the chicken trying to absorb the seasoning before it gets to the noodles instead. Chicken's already got enough seasoning. It's got enough to worry about. It's got that seasoned salt. That's enough seasoning. So we're gonna just let it do that. All the noodles are ready, so let's go ahead and take care of that right now. Dawned on me that I may have just had the video camera completely zoomed up in that last one. So that's great. All right. Now I've got a friend. I've got a friend from Asia, specifically Nepal, who might say this is sacrilege to go ahead and dump this out like this or just strain it. But I'm telling you, it'll work. It's part of the recipe. All right. Let's get the beautiful noodle footage going in there. In the words of Weird Al, just open up the flavor pack, dump it, and eat it. This is about what we're gonna do here. Cool. I have 100% neglected my, this is my other camera, by the way. 100% neglected all of my dishes, and so we're gonna use chopsticks, because that works. Let's see. So the noodles are all nice and mixed up. Take another swig of water, because that's good. All right, let's go ahead and throw that chicken in, shall we? Here's the secret, the real secret ingredient. We got the chicken in there, we got the noodles. My hands, I completely forgot how to use chopsticks. I like to have the chicken on top, not all of it, but you know, some of it. I was really hoping this was going to get a little bit more chicken on top, whatever. But I'd be wrong. This chicken is fucking slippery. No, you know what? We're getting 3 pieces. Alright. And now what do we do? There you go. Right there. Solid gold. Solid bold food. So there you have it. It's a college special ramen and chicken, which I think if you try it, you're gonna agree is, well, it's not like a fucking 5-star restaurant kind of meal, but it's cheap and it works. What, ramen is 10 cents, Sriracha is maybe $3, and chicken is 10 bucks maybe for like a week's supply or something like that. It's fucking tasty. All right, anyway, this has been bronze level chef Zach, and I hope you enjoy. See you later.